I'm Erin and welcome back to my channel where we talk all things creativity, including creating your dream life. And today we're going to talk about how living in your purpose, creative or otherwise, helps other people's dreams come true as well. I made a TikTok about this, but I wanted to delve in even more about it, so I'm going to play the TikTok now. I think about this all the time. Like, yes, Daniel Kaluuya was in many things before Get Out, but to a lot of people, that was his huge breakout role. But like, imagine if Jordan Peele was just like, I'm just not gonna write this. Imagine if he said, no, I'm just gonna give up on this. I'm not gonna live in my purpose. I'm not even gonna go for this crazy, insane movie. Imagine what would have happened. Or like Ke Huy Quan, who is lauded to win Best Supporting Actor for Everything Everywhere All at Once. And he hadn't worked in like 30 years. And he's probably going to win the Oscar. But imagine if the Daniels were just like, oh, no, this movie is too weird. It's too different. No one's going to want to watch this. And maybe they did say that, but they still kept on and they still made it happen. But imagine if they just quit. Would he have gotten that Oscar? Would he have gotten that opportunity? I think about this so much, like when auditioning or sending out my writing. It's like, you know, I didn't get to have that thing because maybe it just wasn't for me. Where it's like, I look at the girl who maybe was cast, she ends up dating that other actor who was casted alongside her. I was not meant to date that man. Not meant to happen, because that's her story and that's what was supposed to happen because it was supposed to be for her. So, dang. I wonder who we're already like set up to meet in this time, you know, like you taking these steps. I wonder like who's taking the steps alongside you, like while you're getting your degree in writing, like who's gonna be the person who's gonna like get their degree to direct so that they can direct your writing. Like, who's lined up with you? That's so cool. Okay, I could go on about this for forever. A big part of this equation is doing your part so that you can meet your creative counterpart and just affect people's lives at large in a positive way. It doesn't have to be like the entire world. It could be a large scale, like you're affecting your community, you're affecting your family. But a famous example of this in recent, celebrity news is Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler. Ryan Coogler is a famous writer-director. He directed the Creed movies, he directed the Black Panther movies. Recently, he directed Sinners. Of that movie. We won't get into it because this isn't my little nerdy movie corner, but I hope it gets in for Best Picture and Best Director this year. But his obvious muse, Ryan Coogler's obvious muse, is Michael B. Jordan, who has been in all of these movies, right? And so Michael B. Jordan had to be working on his craft, his acting craft, getting his roles, sharpening his toolbox. But in the meantime, Ryan Coogler was in film school. He was learning how to be a screenwriter. He was learning how to be a director. He's the one who reached out to Michael B. Jordan, who I think when he reached out to him, I don't know if he was still on The Wire or not, but he reached out to Michael B. Jordan because he had him in mind for Fruitvale Station. They both had to be working alongside each other, doing their own crafts for this dream to come true. And now look at them. The Black Panther movies, the Sinners movie. I keep calling it the Sinners movie, but it's just called Sinners. I sound like a Facebook mom, but y'all get what I'm saying. Another example of this is Sabrina Carpenter. Sabrina Carpenter has been acting and famous and singing since she was a little girl on Disney Channel. She's been working on her craft this whole time, but what really catapulted her is one, going on tour with Taylor Swift, who's been famous since I was a little girl, was in middle school or 5th grade when she shot onto the scene on CMT. She brought Sabrina on tour. They've both been working on her craft, and Taylor Swift was able to bring Sabrina along with her so that she can sharpen her craft on stage. Also, Sabrina, she got a whole new stylist, and that completely catapulted her career and her branding, and now her branding is iconic. We know her for her fashion, her aesthetic now. A lot of times people, when they're trying to, help you, or they're trying to be realistic, they say that your dreams, creative or otherwise, are not realistic, and then they try to prove their point by, in some way, either subliminally or blatantly, saying that your dreams are selfish, when really they're not. Your dreams and you trying to do better for yourself and build more for yourself and break generational curses and do what people in your family or your community has never done helps build up your community and helps them to see a life that is possible for them, to give them a better life for themselves too. A large scale example of this would be Beyoncé now taking her daughter Blue on tour and bringing her on stage so that she can sharpen her toolbox. And even if she doesn't want to be a dancer or a singer in the long run and she just wants to be some other form of an entertainer, she has gotten to sharpen her toolbox because her parents opened that door for her. But if they never took that leap into the arts, that would have never happened. They could have never had the lives that they do now. I think about my parents and the leaps that they took out of what their community expected out of them. My mom's an immigrant, and my dad did not grow up very wealthy either. And they took so many leaps so that they left their community, they got the scholarships that they needed, they moved out of that community, and they made sure that they got the education that they needed so that they could provide for my sister and I, and that we have way more opportunities than they ever had. And I'm gonna make sure that I do my part so that one day my future kids that, they don't exist yet, but they can have even more opportunities than I have. And even just with the opportunities that I've had in the last few years, I have to think about the fact that somebody had to be hired in order for me to get those opportunities. Like, somebody had to be hired at Delta Airlines and hired in their social media division, and then had to have seen one of my TikToks in order for me to go to Greece with my best friend for free. But I had to do my part in letting myself be perceived, which was a feat and a half for me at the time. I had to allow myself to be perceived and do my part in posting the content. That opportunity would have never happened if I didn't do my part. A lot of this is just allowing yourself to be seen, allowing your unique point of view to come through, and really honing in on your genius mode, your talents. Even if you're a beginner, even if other people think it's cringy, even if it's not as polished as you want to be, you still have to take the steps so that you can be polished one day. So say that you love fashion. You are incredibly encyclopedic about fashion, and you have a unique eye for styling an array of body types. And you start posting your outfits online, you start talking about cool ways to dress your specific body type, you do deep dives on the history of fashion on YouTube, you make threads about how you would style certain celebrities, you do deep dives on the Met Gala, you critique Met Gala looks. And not only do you get cool opportunities from it and the money and the notoriety from it, but also you build a beautiful community of people who love fashion and now know how to style their body type. And because of all of this, maybe a singer, an up-and-coming singer, who has been disregarded by stylists because they didn't know how to dress her body type, or they didn't necessarily embrace her body type, reaches out to you because she loves your content and you always talk about her body type and how to style her. And so then you go and you're like, yeah, let's pair up, let's do this together. And both of your careers blow up because you actually know how to dress that girl. And now people are clamoring to see what she's gonna wear next because of you. You both had to be working side by side. She had to be working on her singing craft. You had to be working on your fashion craft. I also want to read you a quick little blurb that I wrote that also inspired this video. Here's me on my giant laptop, but I got it as a gift, so I'm not gonna complain. You living your dream and creating whatever it is that you create, paintings, stories, makeup looks, movies, businesses, YouTube channels, is going to change someone's life. Your story could be the reason that someone leaves a toxic relationship. Your business could provide financial freedom for so many people so that their families don't have to struggle anymore. Your creativity could inspire others to be more creative. You could be someone's comfort creator and help them feel less alone. There's so many people that have helped me through a hard time by simply posting online. You could be that person. You have the ability to open the door to so many people's dreams. I know I want to see more movies starring Black women and queer people, so I am living in my purpose by writing those movies and learning more about directing and directing short films so that I can make those movies and fulfill other people's dreams of starring in those roles. But I have to sit my ass down and write it. And on a more self-indulgent note, the girls are going to be obsessed with you and your art and your business. Imagine if you stopped. You're never going to get the fan edits of your movie or of you in general. There's no fan theories. There's no fan fiction. There's no fanfare. You have to create the thing so that you can live the life that has such things. Yes, somebody is going to be so super obsessed with your work. Someone is going to be so super obsessed with your fashion looks that it is so iconic that it is now a Halloween costume. Everybody knows what a Cher Halloween costume looks like because she's Cher. She's Cher. If I got my little bust down right now and, my Bob Mackie outfit, it would give Cher. Especially with the spider lashes, you would know that I'm giving Cher. She's my style icon, by the way. Imagine that. Imagine that. But you gotta put yourself out there. Maybe you're taking all these acting classes and you're doing all these auditions, and then one day you finally book the role that you want to book, and you meet your best friend. Your best friend on that set. Your best friend, who maybe also introduces you to the love of your life. But you had to take the acting classes, didn't you? You had to keep auditioning, no after no after no after no. But who knows? Maybe your soulmate is your best friend's cousin. But you'll never know if you never do those things. If you want to be on the red carpets, you have to do the things that will get you on a red carpet. If you want to go on brand trips, you have to post the content that will get you on a brand trip. Yes. Live your dreams. Live your dreams. All right, that was a little wacky schmacky, but I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I want to post more content like this. Obviously, I'm still gonna post astrology content. I'm thinking of doing like a bi-weekly kind of thing. Like one week I post astrology, another week I post more creative stuff like this or about writing. So that's what I'm thinking. We'll see how it actually shakes out. Okay, also, thank you for almost 1,000 subscribers. That's nuts. Hopefully by the time I post this, I'll hit 1K, but either way, thank you so much. And if you want a full life glow up, then the Reset and Reinvent Yourself workbook is linked in the description, along with the character backstory workbook and so many other things. So many other things. I got a lot of stuff to link. So yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this. Go drink some water and I will see all of you lovely people in my next video. Bye.